Yo, your boy Xavi Hearns, jump free, all of that. This is my top 5 sprint finals. You know, there's many races that I could have put in for the world champ. Well, not many, but there's a couple I could have put in for the world champs that we're watching now. Sha'Carri Richardson from lane 9, winning her first title. Shericka Jackson, the second fastest 200 meters of all time, 21:41. Hassan tripping all over the place, Femke Bol tripping all over the place. They all made for some great finals, let's be honest. But I got to truncate this, we'll do it into 5. And then I'm definitely gonna do my top distance finals as well. Top middle distance finals, and my top 5 long distance finals. But my number 5 for this, for my top 5 sprint finals, is the women's 400 meter final in 2013, the Worlds, Moscow. Christina Horoglu, yeah, she is a 400 meter specialist. Amazing stamina. Or Michael Jordan, speed endurance. She has maintained her pace better than anyone in that race. She wasn't fussed about McPherson and all these other girls just bombing it from the start. She wasn't bothered. She was not bothered. And she just focused on her own race. She just focused on her own race. She just stuck to the game plan. And she stayed in the race, and she ran a 49:41. You know, it was all set up for Montreux. Montreux, I think Christine was the fastest in the heats, but Montreux was the fastest in the semis, and she was the defending champion. So a lot of people thought, yeah, Montreux's got this. But no, Horoglu, fair play to her. She just kept hunting her down. You know, it was mad. It got to the point where people were saying, yo, she's on drugs. But nah. She just goes through those gears like a machine, gradually increasing. She stayed calm. She never panicked, and she dipped for the line. This is what you got to show people. Montreux eased up, right. She did a little dip, she would have won. They're at the same time, 49:41. But yeah, Horoglu, she wanted it more. And that's why she took home the gold. Incredible race. Incredible. Oh, man. What's my number 4 is the men's 100 meter European final. Christophe Lemaitre. You know, he ain't done much since then. I mean, even before this race, he already broke the 10-second barrier, the first white man in history to be able to do this. And you know, from this championship, I expected him to push on. He didn't really do that. I think he had one more year where he won stuff at the indoors, but nah, since then it's kind of fizzled out. Let's be honest, it's petered out. But give him credit, he won this title. 10:11, which is a realistic European time, not like Dwayne Chambers when he cheated and he ran sub 10. Anyway, let's focus on this race. Yeah, you could see from the first 20-30 meters, though, someone pulled up in lane 1. You had Marc Lewis Francis and Dwayne Chambers. They set off very well. You can see the 2 British boys were leading the first 30 meters, first 40 meters, and it looked like it was on for greatness in the European final. I thought, like, wow, we're going to get 2 medals here. 2 medals, even first gold and silver. But no, Dwayne didn't start to look as relaxed. Is why I would say he is a 60 meter runner. Let's be honest, he's a 60 meter runner. Lemaitre had a storming last 20 to 25 meters. It's like he really hit his top end speed, and he ended up taking on the title with a time of 10:11, dragging Francis Obikwelu, the defending champion, with him. And it was a bloodbath for that silver medal, because Lemaitre got 10:11. 4 of them ended up getting 10:18. Marshall Mbandrok, very good French runner, he was in the mix as well. I think he was in between Chambers and Lemaitre in the lane order. Marc Lewis Francis got the silver. Marc Lewis Francis got the silver with his big self, man. Big him up. That was his first individual senior medal. Imagine that, 2010. He'd been in the game for years. Obviously, he had the relay. Relay gold from Athens. But yeah, it's his first thing as an individual. He was chuffed. And Bandrop got the bronze. Obi Kweli got fourth. Dwayne Chambers ended up in fifth place. I think he ended up beating Lemaitre a year after, but man, he literally went from first to fifth. He overshadowed at the end and he dipped too early. Just like the 2000s. The 2000 Olympics, he dipped too early. That's why he got fourth. And this time he got fifth. So this European Finals in 2010. So 10 years later, he still hasn't learnt his lesson. Sigh. Let's move on to number 3. My number 3 is Usain Bolt, the world champs, 2009. People could be like, oh, how can you have the fastest race ever only at number 3? It's my opinion. It's my favourite race. It's my personal opinion. And yeah, there's not even much to say. You just watch it in awe, man. Like, no one, like, 958, like, you know, scientists and that, they were saying that there's no way man could even run this fast, but he did it. You know, you got people. Dwayne Chambers is in this race as well. You know, Dwayne Chambers, and I'm sure he even said he's just happy to be involved in the fastest race in history. Dwayne Chambers and Asafa Powell, who ended up getting the bronze with 984, he even said he's happy to be in the fastest race in history. Like, it was. It's mad. After the 10 meters, because Bolt's start is never great, but by the 20 meters, he already had a slight lead. But from 40 meters, he took away from the pack. You know, he beat Gay by a distance. How can he beat Gay by a distance, but Gay ran a 9.71, which is the third fastest time ever, but Bolt still beat him by a distance? Do you know? Listen, that's why this is when Tyson Gay knew that he couldn't beat him. Tyson Gay, he didn't go in, I wouldn't say as a favourite, but he had the better time. He had a 9.77 compared to Bolt's 9.79. Daniel Bailey had one of the best starts in that race. And he said, oh yeah, good start by Daniel Bailey. Here comes Usain Bolt. Here comes Usain Bolt. Like, Bolt is slow out the blocks, but only takes him 20, 30 meters to just get into his running and to just dominate the field. See, look. An achievement that people claim is 20 years ahead of schedule in the long-term scheme of the 100 meters world record progression. Yeah. So look, Tyson Gay, 993. The top, that's good though. The top five all got sub 10. This is one of Dwayne Chambers' best races as well. He ran a 10 flat. Him and Mark Burns, 10 flat. This is what, you know what I mean? I forget. Wait, 146, 165. See, look at that. Bolt had the 6th best reaction time. Only Darvis Patton and Mark Burns had worse reaction times than him. You know what I mean? And it just didn't make a difference. It just didn't make a difference. You know when Bolt, you know, it was always like Blake was saying, oh yeah, I beat Bolt all the time in training. Maybe he was taking it easy on you. Because it's just when it comes to it, obviously Blake wasn't in this race, innit? But you know, when you take more than 10th of a second off your previous mark in a final as well, especially when you wasn't the fastest going into the final, it's different. When Gay runs a 0.02 off of Bolt's last world record in Beijing, that's when you know man's serious. That's when you know man's serious. I swear, like, Bolt even had Gay withdrawing from the 200 meters because he was that scary. Incredible. It's the way how he just kept running after the race, man. He's different. He's different. No one is. I hear. It's funny, isn't it? Because I hear, like, we heard Fred Curley, Noah Lyles saying I run 9.65. Curdy said I run faster. I hope you don't mean faster than... You mean faster than 9.65 or faster than 9.58? Because you ain't going faster than 9.58. It's just not happening. It is just not happening. And, you know, the way... 2 clear meters. That's why I pick up on commentary, innit? And it's the way how they say 2 clear meters just makes me laugh. Because it was 2 clear meters, isn't it? And you know, the thing that was special about this race is the fact that at the start they said, all men have run under 10 seconds. So it would have been even sweeter if they could all do it. But because Bolt ran 9.5, and the scary thing is, he could have run faster. I'm telling you, when it got to 90 meters, you could watch the race. He was clock watching. He was clock watching. Come on, man. He's different. My number 2 is Karsten Warholm. What can you say about this, man? Arguably, some say the greatest race in Olympic history. When you smash, much like Bolt, when you smash your own world record, like, you're special. But when you smash it by, 0.76? When you have Alisson dos Santos came third in that race, he nearly beat Warholm's old world record, 46.70. Kevin Young had that world record for time, and Warholm broke it. Broke it twice in the space of a month. Like, when you break it going into the competition, then you smash it again in the final, you're different. 45.94. There's people, like, I'm an official. I see athletes all the time. People struggle to run 46 on flats, and you're running 45.94 with hurdles. That is just incredible. And I think this story is so... I love the race so much because I remember there was a 400-meter final which Warholm made. He made... I can't remember which major it was, but it was before this Olympic final, and he came dead last. And then it looked like he changed trainer to focus on the hurdles. I just knew Rai Benjamin was his biggest threat, and he already beat him in 2019 in Doha. And it's like being a right-footed hurdler is just not helping Benjamin, man. That's why Sydney is incredible, and even Sydney's changed. Sydney's realised, let me focus on the flats. You know what I mean? Because you're always half a meter or a meter behind Warholm. Always. That's why we heard Rai Benjamin saying, if they said to me I'd run 46.1 and lose, I'd beat you up and tell you to get out of my hotel room. And it's true. 46.1. Like, how many in the top 5 runners in this race would have won gold at 96, 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016 Olympics? That's why Warholm was 7 out of... All I'm saying about this race, this is why I'm my number 2, 7 out of 8 runners have got national records in this final. It just must be top 5. It must be. The way how man just ripped off his vest, and it looked like man was just barely... It looked like man was catching his breath back, but it looked like in 30 seconds man could run again. I'm telling you, that guy is different. Ray Benjamin he just took a kneel down, was just looking at Warholm, was like, bloody hell, bro, like, what the fuck am I meant to do? What the fuck am I meant to do? You are different. Karsten Warholm, man. Different breed. My number 1, Donovan Bailey. 9.84, the 96, Atlanta Olympics. That changed one of my Instagrams to Xavi Hearns 984. I just love it, man. You even try to find that race. I found out about that race when I first started getting into my athletics. I got a sports book, and they said this was before this was prior Bolt, and they said, I said in it, best race ever ? And this was the race that they were talking about, I wasn't hearing it at the time because before I even saw this race, I saw Bolt do the 969. I saw Bolt do the 972. Then when I really came to prominence, for me, it was 2008 when he got the 969. Then I watched this race. I was like, rotted. Donovan Bailey in the white vest, explosive. And this race, you know what makes this one even better? The fact that there was a destructive race. Linford Christie had 2 full starts, got disqualified. Even Ato Bolden, he had 1 full start. So it took a long while for this race to even get going. And Donovan Bailey in lane 6, I believe, he had a poor start, a very, very poor start. Looked like Frankie Frederick was going to run away with this. Just come up on his shoulder, and even looks like, and he's pumping. Bailey's pumping. Power. Even looked like Bailey was pumping so much. His left arm was gonna bounce Frankie Fredericks. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, man, it was a moment, and it was good for Canada. It was good for Canada because obviously they had the Ben Johnson thing, which is saying that we don't talk. But Ben Johnson, just talk about Ben Johnson quickly. Even when he celebrated, that was similar to how Bolt celebrated in 2008, and even Ben Johnson said, I could have run faster. Yeah, listen, the drugs you was on, I'm sure if you're taking a bit more, you could have run faster, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that meant in 1996, I mean, when Bailey would have held all of the titles at the time. And, you know, he reached the top. He hit the top speed of 12.10 m/s. Crazy. And, you know, it was even... Frankie. Yeah. It's always disappointing, you know. You know what I love? You know what I love about like a sprint race? When you see someone, yeah, get beat. When you see someone leading a race and they get beat by someone on their shoulder, on the right hand shoulder, it's so aesthetically pleasing for me anyway. Frank Fredericks was in the 5th. Donovan Bailey was in the 6th. Was in the 6th lane. Comes true, takes home the world record, man. 984. And you know, like, bro. Oh shit. Listen, man. Bailey and Michael Johnson, it's so fitting that Bailey and Michael Johnson had this set the rivalry of Bailey and Michael Johnson. And then this is another video. This is another video, by the way, you know what I mean? Let me not go off, but what I will say is Frankie Frederick got silver in this race. Ato Bolden got bronze. This was the first of two races where they were behind world records. Because Michael Johnson broke the 200 world record with Frankie Fredericks, and Ato Bolden also medaled in that. So what a disaster for them, man. Not a disaster because they won medals in it, but that's just peak, innit? You just always finishing my world records, man. It is what it is. So yeah, let's just run through that real quick. In 5th place was Christina Horogu at the 2013 Women's World 400 meters. Number 4 was Christophe Lemaitre in the 2010 Men's European 100 meter final. Number 3 was the great man, the GOAT, Usain Bolt in the 2009 Men's 100 meter World Final. Number 2 was Carsten Warholm, the unbelievable 45.94. I still can't believe he done that. It's crazy, 45.94. At the, 2020 Olympic, obviously happened in 2021, pandemic. The Olympic 400 meter hurdles men's final. And number 1, DB, Donovan Bailey, in the 1996 men's 100 meter Olympic final. You don't know, Xavier Hearn's jump free. It's my top 5 sprint finals ever.